I think one of the bigger questions about the Jazz is how much do you trust Will Hardy? Because I think one of the things that is so interesting to me is that when I see Will Hardy and I look at his club, like last night I'm watching the game and I'm saying to myself, this is a team that does not look disciplined. This is a team that does not look ready to play tonight. This is a team that does not look like they have any idea what they're doing on defense. And I point all of those concerns right back at the head coach. Now, I'm not telling you that this guy's a disaster or should be fired, but Jake, I absolutely think there's questions to be asked about Will Hardy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yesterday's game was very much a come out slow type game for the Jazz. And I feel like, it happens occasionally. You kind of understand it. You kind of, you get to know that these guys are human beings and they're going to have bad nights. But uninspired is the word that I, would attach to this game. Uninspired until probably 10 minutes left in the third. That's really when I felt like the tide kind of turned and the game kind of, picked up for the Jazz. You saw them claw back. You saw them get back into this game and chop down a 24-point lead. All of that to lead to Jordan Clarkson feeling like he got fouled when he got bumped out of bounds or whatever. And it's just a frustrating game, I guess. It's one of those games you feel like, man, we probably should have done more with this game. We probably should have had a bit different of a result, which is kind of crazy to say in and of itself because you're playing a team that has superior talent. You're just outgunned in this game, and you're still able to find a way to dig back into it and have it be a competitive game. And so, for me, I look at Will Hardy and I say, I don't know if it's too strong to say that some nights these guys just aren't ready to play. I don't know if it's too strong to say that, but what I don't think is too strong is these guys some nights just come out and are not ready to go. They're not ready to really drive forward and play the right way, the particular way of basketball they need to play to win games based on the roster that they have put together. That's just the reality of the situation. You're not, like at one point the Grizzlies were shooting 41% from three. Like coming out of the half into the third quarter, they were in the 40 percentile from three, and that's not good enough. I don't care who you're playing. You can play good enough defense to stop a team from shooting 40%. So for me, I just look at this game and I say, these guys were clearly kind of checked out, and then they felt some momentum, they got some hope, and they got back in the game.
Whose fault is that they were checked out, though? I mean, I think when you look at Will Hardy and you look at, what it is that he's done, and I think you look at how he's done it, I think you can only point at the fact that Will Hardy's the guy who's in charge and he needs to make sure they're not checked out. That's the thing. Now, again, I want to make sure we don't go too far with this. I'm not saying that Will Hardy's done a bad job. I'm not saying that Will Hardy should be fired. But I think when you have such a young coach like this, and you're seeing an issue such as, hey, we don't defend very well. We don't rebound very well. When you see issues like, hey, our transition defense is truly an Achilles heel. Mm-hmm. When you see stuff like that, you truly have to ask yourself, what is it going to take to change that? What are we going to have to do to adjust so that we, as the Utah Jazz, grow and learn a guy like Walker Kessler, who my biggest fear is he's turning into a rim runner. And I want to see more than that. I think he's already truly a game-changing defender and shot blocker, but I want to make sure that this is a guy that grows. Like Colin Sexton is a really interesting conversation piece with the Utah Jazz right now, because I happen to be a guy who wholeheartedly believes in Colin Sexton as a contributor in the long term. But I also don't know that Colin Sexton's a guy that you can point to and say, yep, that's my starting point guard right there. Like, he much more feels like a sixth man. He feels like the role that Jordan Clarkson has filled the last couple of years on this club.
Facts.
And it feels much more like Colin Sexton is not a starter, he's a bench guy. But then, to talk in a nice round circle, I guess, I look at this situation with Jordan Clarkson. At what point do we get into a situation where we say, hey, somebody needs to go up to Jordan Clarkson and say, you got to be better than this. You cannot continue to turn the ball over. You cannot continue to play selfish basketball. because Jordan Clarkson is a black hole of basketball. You give him the ball, it's not coming out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that last night we saw him triple team multiple times and he never kicked the ball to the corner. It doesn't matter he gets in trouble and then tries to throw an awkward pass to Walker Kessler, who then winds up throwing his arms up in the air. Jordan Clarkson has zero accountability. So when we're talking about Will Hardy, I'm not telling you he's a disaster by any mark, but wouldn't you expect him to address some of those issues?
Yeah, I mean, I would expect him to be able to get Jordan Clarkson to like on that play where Jordan Clarkson, late in the game, he turns it over on the side there and everyone's like, oh, he got fouled. But the reality of the situation is he should have rolled the basketball. He should have passed it to Walker Kessler off of the pick that Kessler set there on the wing. And I think, it's just you're right. Like Jordan Clarkson, there's no way around the fact that you give him the ball and it doesn't come back out. There's no way around that. And I don't know, what you do about that, because this is not unique to Will Hardy. We saw this with Quinn Snyder. You've seen this in other, on other teams and other organizations for Jordan Clarkson. And to me, it's like, dude, like I love this guy's game. I love what he brings to the floor. Love his contribution. Love, when he's going for 4-point plays, like that's amazing stuff out of basketball and out of Jordan Clarkson. But the reality of the situation is that's not the only thing that he provides. He does provide the turnovers. He does provide, some awkwardness offensively at times. There are how many times a night is Jordan Clarkson going to be like pivoting through a double team after he's picked up his dribble on the block? Like that happens a lot. And to me, you can just see a stark difference. Like another thing out of this game as it relates to Jordan Clarkson, Will Hardy had a nice group together out on the floor where they've got good momentum, and then he makes some subs because, guys like THT, and Damian Jones are getting a little bit tired, which you understand. And so he brings in Jordan Clarkson, and the dynamic of the game completely changes. It felt like in that moment, once that turnover happened, the game was over. Like that's how it felt. So to me, I just, I'm with you. I don't think that we're talking about like Will Hardy being a disaster or anything, but I think some of these things, it's like, damn, dude, like we got to get these things changed. We got to. It's not good enough to go to Memphis and look checked out for the first quarter. That's not good enough to be down. What were they down like 19 after the first quarter? That's
too
not
much
going to work, dude.
But that's my point. Like and I understand that there has been a significant turnover on this roster. Let's not undersell that. Like if you are Jordan Clarkson, I am sure games like last night are very difficult to get up for. I am sure that if you are Jordan Clarkson, there is frustration. That's the only way that I can look at that, is that there has to be frustration in the mind of Jordan Clarkson looking at where this team was a year ago versus where he is now, which it feels like you're on an island, especially without Lauri Markkanen in the lineup, right? You feel like you're the guy.
Yeah.
But I just can't believe you come out that poorly and you lose the game. And really, what did this game come down to last night? It was a possession or two.
Yes.
That's what this was. And so for my money anyway, I feel like this is one of those situations where you just gave away a game. Does that matter at the end of the day? It doesn't. And I know Ken Williams and a lot of our other viewers on the program here have said, hey, I care about now. I want to win games now. I almost feel like it's irrelevant if this team wins another game the entire season.
With all due respect.
But if you're going to lose, it's how you lose.
Yeah.
It's the attitude that you carry into the losses.
Yes.
That for me is a big deal. Like that is a big deal.
Well, and I think, you see the difference between teams like the Jazz and teams around the league that are tanking, teams that are intentionally losing to get higher in the draft. You see them, really playing like awful basketball, like no sense of cohesion, no flow, no team basketball. And to me, the Jazz were doing a great job. Like one thing I think Will Hardy deserves credit for in this game was really dialing in the defensive adjustments as the game went on, because that's what ultimately allowed them to make the run. Like, and I know it's cliche in basketball, you get a stop, you get out and run. Like everyone's heard that, right? Like that's not new. I'm not reinventing the damn wheel with that. But you see this team implement it and it's like, wow, like, hey, By the way, Dylan Brooks drove to the basket, Walker blocks him, and now you're off and running. I think JTA had one, THT had one, where they're just pushing the ball in transition and good things happen. So the question isn't if this team can get out and run. It's how do you get them engaged in that defensive mindset? Another Jordan Clarkson angle that I think needs to be talked about. JC doesn't exactly love to play great defense.
Yep.
And so when JC's in the game and he's having one of those nights where you're turning it over and then the defense doesn't follow, it's like, dude, like it just compounds. So that's why I say I think Will Hardy, being a young head coach, has to find that balance. Is it a good night or a bad night for JC? And depending on what kind of night it is, this is how I got to coach the game to win the game.
Yep, all of our Utah Jazz talk on the Monty Show is presented by Quick Quack Car Wash. We were just there today up in the good old city of Murray at Quick Quack, and as usual, the car came out looking great. And I mean, that's what you expect. Every time you roll through a Quick Quack Car Wash, you expect it to be great. And right now, they've given Monty Show listeners a 50% off car wash coupon. Make sure you find me on Twitter, The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show, to get your 50% off any coupon. In fact, I'll even put this QR code on the screen. Now, if you're watching on a phone, it's going to be tough for you to take this screen grab. But if you use this QR code, this is going to take you to a 50% off any car wash at Quick Quack Car Wash. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you get it. Yep, this one right here takes you to 50% off at Quick Quack Car Wash. Best. And again, they're the best in the business. And it's not that the car comes out great. It does. It's not that you're in and out of there in 5 minutes. You are. The best part is they're friendly. Like today, again, the guy is walking around handing out these nice, perfectly wet towels to dry your car off with, and their vacuums are clean and they work well, and the attachments for your accessories, like all this stuff. On top of that, you get people that are really friendly.
Hey, guys.
And I love that. So the car looks good, the service is great, and you're in and out in 5 minutes at Quick Quack Car Wash. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show as we talk Utah Jazz basketball. Let's get some of your thoughts in here, because I think this conversation about your level of enthusiasm, your level of excitement, your want to about the Utah Jazz is really critical, especially at this stage of the season. Like, where are you mentally on this team? Where are you on Will Hardy? Where are you on? And let's hear from you guys on the show. First one in today is Tanner Plummer. Look at that. Tanner's in first.
Hey, guys.
And I don't know why this turnover. Hello. I don't know. Hey, there you go. He says, afternoon, guys. Hopefully this is the final nail in the coffin for the Pac-0. Oh, yeah. Coming up here in about 20 minutes, we'll talk Pac-12 football. Pac-10, Pac-12.
Yeah, whatever it is these days.
Football on the Monty Show.
Monty Show.
TJF says, your mark on Wilner and Canzano yesterday was, yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And we will have some of that for you.
Yes, you will hear from Commissioner Yormark of the Big 12. By the way, happy birthday to one of my favorite guys, Mike Chase.
Hey, guys.
Says, thanks for the show, guys. It's my birthday today, and listening to you guys helps my day, or helps the day be better. Love your thoughts on things. Appreciate that, man. To which Huey Reed says, I'm with Mike Chase. Listening to you guys talk sports is good for the soul.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And happy birthday, Mike.
Mike Chase, happy birthday to you. Jake Gordon says, guys. Hey, guys. It's Monty in the afternoon again. Love that it's right when I'm about to leave the hospital, and it makes for the rest of the afternoon fly by.
Let's go.
Well, I'm glad we can help you do that. Joshua the Ballo, who's a member of the program, says Monty in the noon.
Hey, guys.
Exactly,
hey, guys.
Right. Riley O'Brien says, happy birthday, Mike Chase. Hey, speaking of Riley O'Brien, it's RV week. The RV show's in town, and there's no better place to get your RV than at Robert Jensen's General RV. I'm telling you guys, Riley O'Brien.
Yes.
We've talked about Riley on the show before, and I'm hoping you took me seriously, that Riley is absolutely the best RV salesman in the business. And, again, at Robert Jensen's General RV, we've been there. We know the inventory that they have, and we know the level of service that you get. And it's such a big investment for you to go and get a fifth wheel, for you to go and get a diesel pusher, for you to get that RV that you've always dreamed of. What a huge moment in your life. you got to get to Robert Jensen's General RV and talk to Riley O'Brien.
What up, guys? This is Riley O'Brien from General RV, and hey, with the RV show kicking off today at the Mountain America Expo Center, we want to make sure that all of Monty Show listeners are hooked up with the best possible deal. I've got over 600 units on my lot here in Draper, Utah. Our dealership is huge. We buy a ton of inventory, and because of that, we're able to pass our savings on to you as the customer. So whether you're looking for a travel trailer, a fifth wheel, any type of motorhome, as you're out shopping, you see something you love, call me, 385-326-8828, and we'll get you guys taken care of.
Yep, tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show, Robert Jensen's General RV. And again, I think one of the other things that's really cool is you see all these other RV dealerships and they tell you, hey, we have this huge selection. You know what the cool thing at Robert Jensen's General RV is? They're a cash company. So those units on their lot, they own them. They make you deals. There's units on their lot, guys, that they're going to sell under their cost. So they're going to sell you that for less than they paid for it. The deals are there. You just got to get there in Draper. I've been there. And the other thing is, by the way, if you own an RV, Robert Jensen's General RV also has an amazing parts and service department that you absolutely want to take advantage of. But during the RV show, I'm telling you now, they're making deals. If you've been thinking about an RV, do not hesitate.
Think about
how
many memories, bro. Think about how many memories that you can make in one of these in one of these products. Like you look at the inventory and there's a ton of selection. I know everyone's got a bunch of selection, but it's like, Riley O'Brien listens to the show. You know that he's, a regular contributor. He makes the show better. And so that's why we're doing this, because he reached out. He knows that they're having this big event at the Expo Center. Like, go check it out. At least you could meet Riley, see what he's got to offer. Like, it's a great opportunity just to get out into the community and see what they have to offer.
Yeah, so stop by Robert Jensen's General RV. Go see Riley. He's at the dealership this afternoon. Make sure you tell him you heard about it on the Monty Show. This hour of the program on the show is presented by Robert Jensen's General RV. A lot of you in this afternoon on the Jazz. Connor Tulin says Monty in the evening. Exactly right.
Connor Tulin, where are you at?
Yeah, Connor Tulin, where are you at? Teddy Wayman, I think, makes a really good point. Clarkson's best use is to come off the bench and provide an offensive spark. And this has been so controversial on the program. Is Jordan Clarkson a starter or a sixth man? And I'm telling you, he is a sixth man.
Yeah.
And if you're going to play 8 guys like they did last night, hey, I get it. You had people injured. Lauri's not playing. He's getting ready for the All-Star game. I don't know if you guys saw it, but they released Bolmero today. Like, you're going through some things at the Jazz. Totally understand that. But it almost doesn't matter to me what you're going through. Jordan Clarkson is making mistakes that are killing this team.
Yeah.
Again, dribbling into a double team when you have a wide open shooter in the corner. That just can't happen. And the frustrating part is you're relying on this guy to be a leader right now. And I know all the Jordan Clarkson fans are going to get in the comments and they're going to say, hey, this sucks, you suck, this is ridiculous.
Right.
Listen, man, I totally understand that. But what I'm telling you is it's not that this sucks. It's not that Jordan Clarkson sucks. He doesn't.
Right.
He has a highest best use, just like every other player in the NBA. And Jordan Clarkson's highest best use is as a spark offensively off the bench.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Period. That's your role, right?
Yes.
Kelly Olynyk, awesome offensive game last night. The guy cannot defend your mom, right? His role is not a starting 5.
Yeah.
His role is not a starting 4. His role is not a 4-5 combo. His role is a minutes big man off the bench.
Yes.
That's what his role is. And if that means starting Markkanen at the 4, okay, I'm here for that. I want to see lineups. I want to see flexibility. I want to see creativity from the coaching staff. That's what I need to see, because we cannot continue to make the same mistake over and over again with this basketball team, because this is a huge window of development. Mm-hmm. Whether you recognize that or not, for a guy like Ochai, for a guy like for a guy like Blocker Kessler,
right,
this is a huge window in development because they're going to get more minutes than any of us ever could have dreamed of, right? Ochai Agbaji already is a completely different player than he was the first day of camp.
We're getting somewhere.
Totally different player. Completely more developed, more capable, more mentally able inside the NBA game.
Yeah.
I want to continue to see that. I want to, listen, if THT is going to be here, I want to continue to see THT getting 15, 20 minutes a game. Not 30, not 40 minutes a game, because he gets exposed at that level. I want to see him get his 15, 20 minutes a game. And I'm telling you right now, Juan Toscano-Anderson is a 15-minute guy.
Yeah.
There's a reason that he's gone from the Warriors to the Lakers, now to the Jazz.
Facts.
Because the guy is not, he is not a 30, 40-minute guy. And again, with Jones, listen, I understand it. We had it in the Monty Show exclusive group. Last night we were talking about this situation with his minutes, and hey, we found our center of the future.
Bet you weren't expecting this one.
Dude, you guys realize that he played 8 minutes last night? I mean, like, you understand
I thought you
that.
said 8.
He played 8 minutes last night. And I understand Colin got hurt. He played 4 minutes. Okay, great.
Right.
Colin Sexton's very different than Damian Jones, who is a journeyman center at this point, who played 8 minutes, 3 personal fouls, and he had 7 points, and all of a sudden you guys want to put him in the Jazz Hall of Fame. Let's let the guy get to his mean at this point. Let's figure out what he is as a player in this system for the rest of the year before we anoint him a supermax guy. Before we say, hey, I don't need Kevin Durant. I've got Damian Jones for 8 minutes. Right? Like, that's the level of ridiculousness that we get to. And I'm telling you, as Jazz fans, you just got to slow your roll a little bit.
Bro, do you understand how incredible that was, what you just did? You worked in Supermax guy with Damian Jones.
Well,
dude.
like, there was a conversation on Twitter last night, and even in the group, I think it was Ken Williams, was like, well, at least we found our center of the future. Hell no, you did not.
And look.
No, you did not.
Look, I understand that Buddy has a nice pick and roll game, okay? I understand that he's athletic. He can run the floor. Remember who this guy is. He's 27 years old. Right? As you said, he's bounced around a little bit. This isn't some superstar. At the same time, though, there are positives, but we can't go too far.
No.
We can't go too far. Yes, this guy can come off the bench behind blocker Kessler and give you a nice contribution. I'd love to see the guy work up to 15 minutes a night. That would be great. I'd love to see that. I think, I don't think he'd be overexposed. I don't think that would be an issue. I feel like that's a nice starting point for him. That said, though.
Jeff Bevan, you did find the center of the future if your future is bottom 4 record every year.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
That's right. Jeff also says Damian Jones is an 11 through 14 roster spot guy. That's right.
But I think
Thank you for the levity.
Dude, I think the thing that Jazz fans get excited about is his athleticism. Like, you don't see a lot of 6'11 guys with the athleticism that he possesses.
Right.
And he's not 35 years old. He's 27 years old. So yet again, I want to point out, this is another guy that you could develop into, right? If you put the pieces together, this is somebody I could easily see getting 15, 20 minutes a night, coming in, giving you 10, maybe 12 points if he's having a good night, pick up 7, 8 boards.
Yes.
Like, that's what I'm looking for out of Damian Jones. And yeah, I'd like to see him use all 6 fouls. I'd love to see him get physical with somebody.
But you don't care if he fouls out.
No,
you don't care if he doesn't play for 4 games, comes in, plays 8 minutes, gives you 4 boards, couple of okay, great, cool. All right, man. See you at the end of the bench, bro. Give me a high five when I score.
We'll play intramurals, brother.
That's who he is. So, all right. I probably too, Eric and Raleigh says Damian Jones is a G League player. Yes. Probably better than that, but I don't know. Yeah. All right. Whew. I feel better. Teddy Wayman, who's a member of the program, gives us a $2 tip to say, excuse me, it's Skywalker Kessler. My bad.
Yeah, I love how Holly last night is like, yeah, he just walkerized somebody. What does that even mean?
I'm sorry, did you say he walkerized?
He walkerized somebody. Blocker Kessler, right? Like, come on, dude.
Bro, come on. Yeah, okay.
Skywalker Kessler. Bro.
Walker, but I will say this. I am as excited as I could possibly be about anybody as I am about Walker Kessler or Skywalker Kessler. I love the kid. Watching him play. You know what I really like? The thing that I'm really excited about with Skywalker Kessler. And now I'm going to say it every time. What I really like about Moonwalker Kessler.
Who the fuck is that guy?
What I really like about Walk This Way Kessler.
Who the fuck are you?
It's either Skywalker or Moonwalker. What I really like about the next Rudy Gobert. That didn't flow so well either. Anyway, seriously, what I like about Kessler is that he's gotten to the point now where he knows what he's capable of.
Yeah.
So when Jordan dribbles into a double team and he doesn't pass the ball to Walker Kessler's getting upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
That's right, T.
Hold Jordan Clarkson accountable. Go over there, give him 5, dap it up, but you got to tell him, hey, I need the ball there. You got to say to him, hey, I need the ball in that situation.
Hey, look here, man.
Give it to me so I can give it back to you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, give it to me, run through, and I'll give it right back to you for a pull-up 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's the level of accountability that you need. And the one other thing I'll say about Will Hardy before we get to the Pac-12 TV deal here on the Monty Show, the one thing that I will say is Will Hardy cannot be the judge, jury, and executioner. That's not how championship teams are built. And you'll notice, I'll go back to the Boston Celtics. You notice who's back, and you notice how much better they are. Marcus Smart is back, Jaylen Brown is out, and the Celtics are better.
Facts.
It's not rocket science, man.
Yeah.
It is not rocket science in my mind. So we'll see. I see everybody lighting up the chat this afternoon about the Pac-12 and the Big 12 and all this good stuff.
Uh-huh.
And before we get to that, we need to remind you that Bucked Up is now the official energy drink of the Monty Show. Make sure that you get to buckedup.com, place your order, use the promo code Monty25, or excuse me, Monty, to get 20% off your purchase at buckedup.com. Go to buckedup.com, use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase at buckedup.com. Also in the description below here on YouTube, what you guys are going to notice is that there is a link for a free sample and a free shaker cup. It's free. All you do is click the link, give them your address. They'll mail you 3 samples and a shaker cup, and their shaker cups are amazing.
Yeah.
They have a post that's attached to the cap, so there's no more fishing for the blender ball thing.
Yeah.
No, man, that mixer ball that's in there, it's attached to that post. It's awesome. They're big, sturdy shaker cups, and you can have one for free. If you click the link in the description below, go get it. They'll send you 3 samples, the shaker cup, just because you listen to the Monty Show. Get to buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase.